Barry Trotz did say that he's not going to be a huge player in the free agent market. So technically that's one event off of the list.
But I will say this, they're doing a whole lot better than a lot of other teams that are looking for coaches now.
Columbus.
God.
Jeff, you want to take this one?
I will take this one gladly.
Yeah.
Mike Babcock sucks, and he shouldn't be in the NHL anymore. That's kind of it.
You ever been back behind like a restaurant or something, and like for whatever reason, the dumpster that's behind the thing has like this water that's seeping out of it, and it smells awful. That's what the Blue Jackets just hired as their head coach. So
I feel bad. Like
and shit again. If I feel bad, Chase, how much do you know about Mike Babcock?
Not as much as you two.
Yeah.
Here's what I do. And this is the cool thing about covering hockey with you guys, and like me just being more of a fan where like I'm watching Preds, and I have Vegas and Florida on this like the mini TV as I'm watching Tennessee come back, and just an unbelievable fashion.
Both great games.
Both great games, and they're happening simultaneously. So it was really great. But I get to look at it as just like I don't have the background that y'all do, so it's just like I enjoy it. I'm like, oh wow, it seems like a lot of people really hate this hire. Oh, it seems like a lot of smart people that I read every day really hate this hire. That's never good. You never want to get the immediate backlash to the hire where it's like, woof. Babcock is the immediate woof of this cycle. It feels like across the NHL.
Oh, there's plenty more, but yeah, I mean,
they needed to get rid of Brad Larson. That was obvious, but like. I have a buddy who's a Columbus fan. I have a buddy who's a Columbus fan, and he didn't like him. I don't think anybody really liked him, but they were also bad. So I don't know. But I think this hire is bad for a lot of reasons. One, I don't think Babcock's a very good coach. I don't think he's a very good coach. I think he coached teams where they had like 4 Hall of Famers, 5 Hall of Famers. Like, yeah, my grandma could coach the 2008 Red Wings. Like. That's not hard. They're, Nick Lidstrom, Pavel Datsyuk, Henrik Zetterberg, like these guys are going to be good no matter who's behind the bench. And, same thing with the Canadian team that he coached, like Sidney Crosby, Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, like these guys, like they're all Hall of Famers. Like they're not, they're going to be good no matter who's the coach. They might play a little differently, but they're going to be good no matter what. And the fact that this guy who, Chase, for the record, he mentally abused players.
Let me give you some specific ones. One
Johan
of them,
Franzen.
Yeah, talked about how he was just awful, like verbally, like assaulted him, just basically to where he dreaded coming out to play hockey. And if guys who play hockey, like for a guy to be like,
people,
I don't feel comfortable going out there and being on the ice. You messed up if that's what it is. I mean, but also like one of the things he did with Mitch Marner as a rookie is like he pulled him aside and told him, he's like, I want you to rank everybody else on the team.
I remember this
by how much effort they gave, and then turned around and shared the list with the entire team in front of everybody. Like it's garbage. It's the NHL has a problem being stuck in the past, and this guy's stuck even further back behind that.
And he didn't play young guys either. Like it's not. I mean, hiring him for Columbus is really weird because he doesn't play young players as much as they should. Like he benched Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner in a game 7. Like
I'm not happy if I'm Johnny Gaudreau or
I'm not either.
Laine or Zach Werenski. Like, and it seems Wicks. It just seems so. Like I've had a chance to talk to Columbus's GM when I went to the analytics conference back a few years ago in the before times, before the pandemic. But he seemed like a really smart guy. But then again,
I think he is.
I think he is. But Columbus has been all downhill since since Allison Lucan left. I can't think of any other like connection other than, I mean, the woman just won an Emmy, which congratulations.
I did see that. That was awesome.
That is well deserved. She, hands down, I think maybe the best person covering the sport without a doubt. Like there's nobody doing it better than her.
She's easily top 3 at the very least.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is, it's not great. And like, we heard a whole lot more about this stuff, but people were like, well, teams, he did his time. I mean, the Canadian media, I'm not going to say all Canadian media, but a lot of them started the Mike Babcock, reunion tour the second he got fired, because, you got to protect their own, even though those same people were very upset about the Andrew Brunette hire of, because hurt feelings and such. But I think the only reason that he wasn't hired before this is they were waiting for his Maple Leafs contract to go. He had an 8-year contract, and if they had hired him before the end of this month,
8-year contract for
any team that would have hired him, they would have had to pay him that salary. And now Columbus said, yeah, that's the right option. That's the best one. And it's sad. It's really, I don't know. And we'll talk about the Rangers here in a second, but I didn't think that anybody was going to do worse than what the Rangers are considering doing. And oh no, I was very wrong. I'd much rather be a Rangers fan at this point than a Columbus fan.
Yeah, which naturally brings us to the Rangers, where John Hynes may not be out of work for very long.
I don't know what it is, but I hate to interrupt you, Chase, but I don't know what it is, but every time he gets fired, there's always somebody that's just ready to, like, not even like a day after, like, because the Preds signed him, like, what, 2 days after he was fired?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yep.
Do you think he's like the ultimate, like, we see this across all sports, where he reminds me kind of like the Doug Collins of NHL coaches, where you're like, I love that Bryan is old enough to get this, because like Jeff, I don't think understands that reference, but like,
no, I don't know.
Doug Collins was never going to be like he was never going to be a Phil Jackson type. He was never going to be just one of the league's best, but he also had this weird high-ish floor where you were like, we know we're going to be like a playoff team. We know that like he's going to get the defense to where it needs to be and over maximize, like, and just do what we need to do to get into the playoffs and make us some money. Like he's a floor guy, but you're like, he's probably not the guy who's going to get us to the NBA finals. Like John Hynes is probably not the coach who's going to get you to the Stanley Cup final, but he's also just